It's gonna be freaking amazing, and we're gonna hit that monsters, and yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Let's do this. So what up, fellas, welcome to the channel again. And yeah, today's an exciting day because tomorrow we're gonna start contest preparation, and this is my last evening meal, even though we're still gonna eat this stuff during prep because this is freaking amazing. But that being said, I'm just gonna enjoy today, just a little bit chips and stuff like that. What's up, guys? Today, well, tomorrow, we're going to start contest preparation, and it's gonna be a long time, 6 to 7 months for the first show. 7 months for the first show. Then we have to continue September, October, November, keeping lean. So at the end of November is the last show. It's gonna be tough, as always, you know, but it's gonna be fun. And the main reason why I am doing this is because I love to find the edge. I love to find the edge where things become so tough that it's gonna play with your head, okay? And that challenge means a lot to me, because that's the point where you really get to know yourself, right? You have to push through it. You have to show dedication. You have to show that you can do it, and you have to force yourself to do so. You have to keep to the goal, stick to the goal every single day, and you are becoming so tunnel vision focused that it's crazy, you know. So with all the perks of contest preparation, where you're gonna get very lean, you know, single digit body fat, crazy look, it's more for the mental part that I'm doing this, more to relearn who I am, you know. And this is what a lot of guys don't talk about, because contest preparation is a mental game. You're really getting deep inside yourself, get to learn yourself, how you're gonna deal with hard stuff, you know. And that there are really lessons to be learned whenever you are deep inside the rut, deep inside the shit, if you will, okay? So with that being said, I wanted to make this video because I wanted to tell you what I'm gonna do differently in this contest preparation. I will be still eating everything I want. I will be filling it into my FitnessPal as always. Every single day I will weigh myself on the scale. Things become more strict. You know, that's a necessary thing to do when it comes to contest preparation. Things are gonna change. You know, from off-season contest preparation, the perspective is totally different. You have to be accountable to yourself every single day. And although there is some flexibility, there shouldn't be too much flexibility, because it plays with your mind in the first place, okay? And a lot of people will say, relax, chill out, nothing is gonna happen, for sure. But what if that guy next to you on stage did everything he could to his possible that minute thing that he just did, and you didn't? That's the change. That's the separation between who is eventually, you know, gonna win or not. I'm not willing to say that, because bodybuilding, you know, as hard as it is, we have to suck it all. That genetics plays a role, okay? But bodybuilding is not about who's the biggest. Bodybuilding is much more who can present good, who can have the best symmetry, who can present himself as an athlete. So it's not who's the biggest or things like that, you know. It's who brings it all to the stage, okay? The organization that I'm going to choose is different than I would normally do. In 2015, 2014, I was going into the IMBA, PMBA. I have to see if I'm gonna do any competitions in that, but what I can say is I'm going to enter the WNBF, which is the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation, because they have been there for a very long time and their testing procedures is good, very good. Okay, so to my honest belief, they are the ones who stand out a little bit more. It's just my personal opinion, but they do a very good job at resisting people from the outside world to enter. Okay, you know what I mean with that. In terms of nutrition, we're gonna take it easy because I'm not gonna kick myself in the butt. Whenever I have to, I kick myself in the ass very hard, but I'm gonna take it easy, slow steps, easy on my way down and not doing things too drastically. I want to be prepared for the competition early on. Okay, it doesn't mean, because probably the first show is end of August, it doesn't mean that I have to be ready, totally shredded in August, because the show that I focus on is in the end of November. But the strategy is, whenever I'm finished early, let's say I'm totally finished in August, end of August, on my first show, I have plenty of time to eat more food and getting a little bit more bulked up while being shredded into the show that I want to be in. So not only have I regained lost muscle mass, not only have I replenished glycogen, which is stored carbohydrate inside the muscles. So not only I appear bigger, I appear better, stronger, fitter. I feel great, because I have a little bit more food coming in, after the hard work that has been done before that I was going into. So what they call it is actually reversing into the show. So that's the strategy for now. I try to be ready on time. I really try to eat in my show that I want to get in, which is end of November, WNBF in New York. I have to qualify myself, in one of the shows here in Europe. I have to place in the top 5 to enter the Worlds in New York, and that's really gonna be very sick, and I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna do it, to qualify myself. So, but that being said, guys, in terms of nutrition, not only we are going to take it slowly. In terms of nutrition, I'm gonna change the whole thing that I was doing in 2015 for the Dubai show. The things that I'm going to change, for example, is I'm doing for 3 years now intermittent fasting. And as you all know, if you've been watching my videos, I don't like to call it intermittent fasting because I don't like to put on labels on things and methods. It's just skipping the breakfast. That's it. And this way, because this was a big struggle for me in 2015. Whenever I started eating my breakfast in the morning, and it was a pretty big breakfast, and all my macros were done in the evening, and I was starving myself to death. Then the mind game comes in. Then your mind is going to trigger you, dude, there's an abundance of food in this house, you're gonna eat it all, man. And for some of you it might seem strange that I'm talking woo-woo stuff, but this woo-woo stuff is actually sitting on your shoulders. It's honestly a voice in your head talking the whole time against another voice in your head. No, I don't want to do it. I want to do it. And we all know that voice. And that voice is the one that you have to overcome. So at least give him the least opportunity to talk rather than give him all the opportunity to talk. And this was a thing in 2015 that I recognized and then experimented the years after. And it was skipping the breakfast saves a lot of calories, okay? So I have plenty of food to go throughout the day. Another thing that I'm going to change I am not going to focus much on making the best meal every single day. I was freaking lunatic in 2015 in terms of creating chef-style meal plans for myself. From the breakfast till the last meal of the day, it must be some kind of chef-style food, you know. It had to taste good and stuff like that. But there's one thing, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I don't want to occupy my brains with choosing foods too much, so I'm gonna make a menu weekly. This is what I'm going to eat, this is what I do groceries for, that's it. There's no doing groceries every single day. There's not, just make a menu of the week, do the groceries on Sunday, make it for the whole week, and you're done, finished. I don't want to have a choice fatigue, how some people might call it. You know, I don't want to have that fatigue going on in my brain of, you know, oh, do I need to pick this or do I need to pick that? I just want to have it, boom, right in front of me, eat it, never look at it again, talk about it, it's done. The meal is done, I have my energy, and that's it. Because also that is gonna play a huge factor, you know, in your thing, in your head. So that's the other thing that we are going to change. The other thing with nutrition we are going to do, because I said we are going slow and steady, I try to get into a consistent calorie deficit of approximately 100 to 200 calories throughout the whole prep. And that means, that's also the reason why I'm doing a 7-month prep to get ready, you know, because it's such a consistent way and it's such a small calorie deficit that I am able to still make progress in the gym and therefore still maintain the body as much as possible, still maintain to the muscle that I have on my frame, okay? So this is the whole strategy that I'm going to do. The amount of shows that we're going to do is probably 4, 5, 6. I'm definitely gonna do more shows because in 2015 I just focused on one show and it was a pity for me, you know. And what I should have done was picking more shows to enter and, you know, spread my opportunities back then, but I didn't. I was totally fatigued from that prep, and I was so fogged in my head, you know, that I didn't think of it. Okay. And the other thing that I'm gonna do most definitely is have a clear plan afterwards. You know, having a plan afterwards is very crucial when it comes to taking strategic steps when you're done with your prep. Because when you're done with your prep and you're not prepared, things are gonna happen. There's no goal anymore. There is an abundance of food that you can tap into, but this is also the time that you can lose yourself totally, and that's also what happened to me. I was maintaining a pretty good body after the show in 2015, like for 1 month, 1.5 months, but then I was going to a vacation. It was not a vacation, sorry. It was, I was bringing my parents to, I had a present for them. I was going to André Rieu, if people know it. And then they had the best breakfast in the hotel. Guess what? I was so used to getting up early because my body was, you know, creating this thing in myself of, you know, standing up early, because that's what the body does when you're super low in body fat. It gets into a survival state. So I was standing up like 4 a.m., you know, and I was just feeling great. But guess what? In the hotel, I was the first entering the buffet. And that's where things were going wrong. There were no eyes on me, nothing. I was there on my own. Buffet was open. Everybody was still sleeping, and guess what? I was shuffling it down. You can find that video, by the way, online on my YouTube. But after that, it was getting worse. So having a plan is important. Highly recommended. Okay. that's pretty much it, man. You know, still keep training hard, try to maintain all the weight, 6 days a week training now, okay? It can be that training becomes too much, then I will adapt, you know? But the main purpose, and a lot of people don't understand this from contest preparation, you have to train heavy every single time, like you did in the off season. You don't want to change that. You don't have to go into higher reps, stuff like that. If you're gonna change your plan, you know, you have to think it like this. If you've been training for years into your bench press, squat, or whatever, you don't want to change that for major different movements unless you have to, because there has been an injury or something that you have to change the movement. But other than that, you don't want to do that. If you've been training heavy weights all the time, stick to heavy weights, because that was the thing that in the first place was making the new muscle. So maintaining that with the same technique, stuff like that, you know, you're trying to preserve it as much as possible. Okay guys, right now, by the way, the reason that I'm starting my prep 1 month earlier is because I am 82 kilograms and the goal is still to get to the last contest preparation weight, which was 87.5 kilograms, like this. I hope that I will be heavier. I have seen my physique in the end of 2016. It was crazy. It's the best that I've ever looked, and it was at 77 kilograms. Eventually, in 2018, I didn't train optimally. In 2019 was okay. So, and that's the time that I really start seeing a change in my body, not in my benefit. So 2018, out of the 300 plus workouts that I would normally have in a year, I was only having 100. And I was seeing it in my physique. I wasn't maintaining to my optimal level. So, you know, I have to see what this prep is gonna bring, and yeah, that's basically it, guys. I hope this was informative first and foremost, because that's what we are all about. We are going into prep mode. We are going to film all that stuff, getting to work on a new documentary, and there's a ton of things going on. Okay, any of these days I will release a video, because we are going into a challenge. I'm going to challenge all the people to come and prep with me, okay? And that's the challenge. Normally the challenge would be like a 3-month challenge or a 12-week challenge. It's the same. Or a 6-week challenge. This challenge that I'm going to bring on this week or next week is about a challenge that's going to take my whole prep. People who want to change their body can do it with me. I will coach them, I will help them, I will help the community, everyone who is entering in. But any more details I will reveal in that particular video that is coming soon. Okay, and then I will show you how you can enter and all that stuff. There is prizes to win. There's also a good cause or good purpose, charity purpose in it. So it's going to be a great thing, and I think it's going to be fun for me as well, because seeing other people going with me, you know, motivating each other, and have the help of me in their, you know, project that they are entering, it's going to fulfill me as an athlete and as a coach, but it's probably going to give me a lot of positivity inside my own prep. So I'm making my own prep, you know, and looking forward to it, because prep can be a thing that becomes a thing in your head. But more details on that later on. Okay guys, I'm gonna leave you off. I'm gonna sit on the couch, and I'm still huffing and puffing from the last meal that I had here. It was a huge meal, but there's a lot of stuff to go through, guys, and it's gonna be freaking amazing. And we're gonna hit that monsters, and yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Let's do this.